Hello guys, Gamer of the Century back with an all new Andrew's Dugout. And everything as of August 24th. So that means that all the statistics that I'm using are from August 24th. So guys, on this week's episode of Andrew's Dugout, we're going to be talking about hot streaks. Now, I mean like hitters going on really nice runs for their games and hitting them really well and getting homers or RBIs or runs batted in. So that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. So guys, thanks for all the support on last Andrew's Dugout, the first episode. I believe it was late season standings. And yeah, I mean, we got a lot of views on that. Keep it up. Tell your friends who are interested in baseball, maybe just other friends that could go check it out. And make sure to subscribe to my some super awesome channels on the main page of my channel. Just go check them out. So now I'm going to tell you what I'm going to be talking about on this week's episode. So here we go. So on this week's episode, I'm going to show hitters' performances for the last 7 games. Of course, only ones who are on hot streaks. Share a bit of my input for each player to tell what kind of pitcher he is better against, and tell you how they could help their team make it to the playoffs, and finally, briefly summarize the current standings. So, now let's just quickly get into the current standings. So, on this page, I've put together the current standings for the division and the wild card. And these are only the leaders of each division. So, in the AL East, we have the Toronto Blue Jays. They're 69-55 and half a game ahead of the New York Yankees. Now, they did pull ahead of them because the Yankees it's not that they were growing cold, but they're 6-4 out of their last 10. And the Blue Jays are 7-3 out of their last 10 games with a winning streak of 3. So that's good. I mean, the Toronto Blue Jays just have that offense that will just help them pull ahead to take this division away. But one good thing for the Yankees is that, here I'll share it right now, is that the New York Yankees, they're 4 games ahead of the Texas Rangers in the wild card. Now, believe me, I'm hoping the Texas Rangers could win that wild card spot to get into the playoffs, and I'm not trying to hate on all you Yankees fans out there, believe me. I'm also fans of the Yankees, but I would love if the Rangers can make it this year and try to make a comeback to win that World Series. So now let's move into the AL Central. The Kansas City Royals have the second best record in baseball. They're 75-48 and 12.5 games ahead of the Minnesota Twins, and that's crazy. But that's only because most of the teams in the AL Central are pretty bad. Let's just say that. I mean, the Twins have not been having a really good last 10 games, and the Royals are 7-3 out of their last 10 games with a win streak of 2. Now that's actually like most teams. A lot of teams have had a winning streak, and we'll get into that shortly with the other teams. So, now in the AL West, we have the Houston Astros, who are 69-56, 4 games ahead of the Texas Rangers. The Texas Rangers did pull ahead of the Angels, which was nice, because the Angels, I believe, they might have got swept by the Blue Jays. I don't remember. But the Astros are 7-3 out of the last 10 games. All the American League leaders are 7-3 out of the last 10 games. I find that kind of ironic. And then they have a win streak of 2. So now let's head into the National League. So the St. Louis Cardinals have the best record in baseball with 78-45, 3.5 games ahead of the Pirates, 5 and 5 out of the last 10 games with a win streak of 1. That's alright. I mean, the Pittsburgh Pirates, they might be able to catch up. You never know. But the Pirates are 2.5 games ahead of the Cubs in the National League. The Chicago Cubs are 3rd place in the NL Central. The Cardinals are 1st, and the Pirates being 2nd. So now, in the AL West, the Dodgers are 67-56, 1.5 games ahead of the San Francisco Giants, and 4 and 6 out of the last 10 games with a lose streak of 5. That's pretty crazy. The Dodgers have not been doing well. And I remember Yeah, you guys remember when I talked about Clayton Kershaw, his next start being against, I believe, yeah, I have the slide. I think we can go back and check it. Let's see. Who was it against? Oakland, right. Oakland. Well, that start was a big game for, well, wait, no, it was the start after that, actually. It was, the start after that, where Kershaw had a really good game going into the ninth inning, and the closer, Kenley Jansen, blew it. And they ended up losing that game. I think it was a close game, maybe 2-1. It was really close, so that was bad for the Dodgers, keeping that losing streak going. Now, for the last division, the New York Mets in the NL East have a 67-56 record, just like the Dodgers. And they're 5 games ahead of the Nationals, who have been falling behind, still falling behind. And the Mets are 6-4 out of their last 10 games with a win streak of 3. So that, guys, is the current standings. And now, let's move into the real topic of this week's video. The hot streak hitters. So first, let's start off with the Chicago Cubs rookie, Kris Bryant. Kris Bryant has had a kind of slow start, or slow middle, I should say. He was hot in the beginning of his major league career, because he was started in the minors in April and May. Got called up in mid-June, and now part of it came from MLB.com, which I thank them, and the other half came from ESPN.go.com. So I also thank ESPN for providing these statistics for me to use. So Kris Bryant is 100 degrees hot right now, according to MLB. Now, I think that's pretty fair to say. He has 3 homers and 8 RBIs in his last 7 games, and he has 2 homers. He has had hit a homer, an RBI in Sunday's game, 2 homers in Saturday's game, which is crazy. And actually, this Sunday game, I believe, is a walk-off home run for the Cubs. That was big. And he had a homer, and I believe in one of his games, but that was a good game for him. He went 4 for 4. That's a really good day. 3 for 4 this game when he had 2 homers, 3 RBIs. So it's a good day. And he started out his last 7 games 252, and he actually improved his average to 262. So that's pretty good, I would say. But now to talk about how these good days occur for him, and how these bad days like this one, where he only had 3 at-bats, no hits, 4 at-bats, no hits. So, I believe we take this game, where he had 2 strikeouts. This 3 at-bat game, or 4 at-bat, I think it was a 3 at-bat game, was against the Detroit Tigers starter Anibal Sanchez, who has a very strong slider. Now, many people know, or many baseball fans know, that Kris Bryant he's very weak against sliders. So, with Anibal Sanchez having a strong slider with depth, oh my god, I can't say that. Depth. Something like that. Sorry, it's hard for me to pronounce that word. Let me spell it out so you guys can understand. D-E-P-T-H. There we go. So, you guys will probably know what that means. So, with that strong slider, he can easily throw it on the outside and fool Kris Bryant, who he has to be getting used to this off-speed stuff, because a lot of rookies, they are fooled by the off-speed stuff that pitchers throw in the game. So, but a good game for Kris Bryant, like this game where 2 homers, 3 RBIs, he faced a pitcher with a weak breaking ball. So he would, throw it like on the inside middle part of the plate. Kind of a really nice pitch for Bryant to drive out of the park. So this is Kris Bryant, and he is our first hitter showcased in our hot streak episode. So let's move on to our second hitter, a Blue Jays hitter in that strong lineup, Edwin Encarnacion. So Edwin Encarnacion is a big slugger. So he likes to swing for the fences a lot. I mean, yes, he does like to go for hits. Of course, he has a 19-game hitting streak. That is huge, a 19-game hitting streak. Whether it's 1, 3, 4, 6 hits, still counts as a hitting streak. So a hitting streak is when a hitter gets a hit every single game. So you count up the games, and right now he has a 19-game hitting streak. Hopefully he can keep it up, because that would really help him improve his average. Because we can see his average went from 255 to 265 in 7 games because of this big 4 hits and 2 hits and just 1 hit even. But Encarnacion is a hot hitter because he's had a homer and 4 RBIs in Sunday's game, a solo homer, back-to-back solo homers in different games, like like that. But Edwin Encarnacion has these good days by when pitchers throw meaty and hard pitches, where just like meaty, I mean like pitches thrown like right down the middle or in a spot where it's hot, where he's hot, where it's really easy for him to hit it because he's good at hitting when the pitches come in to that spot. And when he goes against pitchers that don't mix up their pitches a lot, they throw some fastballs, they don't throw that many curveballs or sliders or changeups, whatever they have in their arsenal of pitches. But he has bad games. I mean, probably I would say one of his, like, this is a bad game. It's one where he's 3 strikeouts. You see that? Well, that's a bad game because he's going against a pitcher who throws slower, and he likes pitchers that throw harder so he can drive it harder or drive it farther. Because when a pitcher throws it hard at you, and you hit it spot on, you can drive it really far. And I just want to show you his last game was 4 for 4 and a homer and 4 RBIs. I really like that about him. But that happens, of course, because that's one of his good games. But with the strikeouts, it's like when in this game, I believe it was probably this game, on this August 16th, he faced a pitcher by the name of Luis Severino on the New York Yankees, struck out 3 times. But that was because he didn't throw that hard, and he was more accurate at his pitches to throw Encarnacion off. So this is Encarnacion, and there's another player, I just want to tell you this now, that's going to be 100%, but we're saving the best for last. So tune in and stay until we showcase our last hitter, because he's pretty good. But next we're moving on to a rookie, Stephen Piscotty. Now, Stephen Piscotty, I don't exactly know when he got called up, but he got called up pretty shortly ago, I would think, because he doesn't have many stats yet. And he is a rookie for the Cardinals, and he has actually been pretty hot lately. So, on Sunday's game, he had a very good game, where he had 2 homers, 5 RBIs, and he went 3 for 4, bumping his average from 307 to 324. Now, his average gets so high like this when it goes from like 307 to 324 instead of 265 to 266 with Encarnacion, because he hasn't played that many games, so his average will go up higher. But Piscotty has these good games like this one, because mostly when pitchers throw very hittable and drivable fastballs for him to swing at. I was watching a video on one of his home runs he hit in this game. It was in the 9th inning against the San Diego Padres closer. And the closer threw him a really nice pitch on the inside part of the plate, and he turned his hips fast and drove the ball to left field, and it was a bomb to help his team secure a victory. Wait, was it a victory? Yes. Yeah, it was. Should have been. And if it wasn't, excuse me for totally messing that up. So, then he has these bad games, like this 4-at-bat game with 3 strikeouts. I believe that's Saturday's game for the Cardinals, because the pitchers had high-quality breaking pitchers to throw him off, just like stuff that happens with Kris Bryant, where breaking pitches throw him off, like curveball sliders, just because that's what happens. They go against this better pitching, and it just throws him off. But just like when on this game, he faced a pitcher by the name of Ian Kennedy with a hard 2-seamer, a nice inside cut fastball, and a really nice curve that threw him off. Just come and then it would go down and it would just fool him. So this is Stephen Piscotty, and Yeah, I mean, he's been pretty hot. I think he could keep it up to help the Cardinals stay ahead in their division because he's going to need to really produce if they're going to want to stay ahead of these Pirates who are catching up. They've been pretty good lately, so let's see how he does. We're now moving on to another rookie. This rookie is for the Minnesota Twins, and his name is Miguel. I believe it's Sano. I don't know. Do you know if his name is Sano or Sano? I don't know. But if you guys know how to pronounce his name, tell me in the comments below. I don't care if I'm wrong. I just don't exactly know how to say his name. I don't know. So he's a rookie. He didn't get called up too long ago. He's a new third baseman and designated hitter for the Minnesota Twins. Now you can see he's only 98 degrees hot. I guess that's just a ranking that MLB likes to use for their players with a thermometer. I like that idea though. Very clever. Now, his last 7 games have been really well. He's hit 321 average, 4 homers, 9 RBIs. Now, you can see he had a 2-run homer, maybe a 3-run homer. You never know. Like sometimes it's just a solo homer and 2 RBIs driven in like a double or something. You just never know. But if you can see, it says like run and then a homer. You mostly know it's a home run. And then this game went 2 for 5 and a 2-run homer. You can see his average kind of stayed the same basically. But you can see it goes like from 291 to 285, but then it jumped back to 290. So, that's what happens when players don't play that many games. It just jumps higher every game when you get a few hits. So, I like to nickname him just like Miguel Cabrera, Miggy. That's his nickname, so I like to call him Miggy Sano. So, Miggy's good games are definitely against righty-lefty matchups. I don't have much for him. It's probably, he's a righty. So, these righty-lefty matchups, it's easier for a righty to hit lefties, I think just because the lefties tend to throw inside and the middle of the plate more than righties like to throw to the outside of the plate. So it just helps them get good wood on the ball to drive it. But just like what happens to rookies, he gets bad games, like this 3 at-bat with 2 strikeout game, because he just gets fooled by the off-speed pitches. And, he likes to drive for defenses. He's a big guy, so he likes to use his power to his advantage to drive the ball out of the park. But sometimes it doesn't work that much for him, and he gets fooled by the off-speed pitches by experienced pitchers. So, this is Miggy Sano, and I don't know. I mean, the Twins, they don't have much time to catch up. I don't think they're going to catch up. And my opinion is, I think they're just going to stay at second place. Even not that high in the wild card, too. So, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs this year. Sorry, Twins. But now, moment you've been waiting for. Drum roll, please. I don't know if you can hear that. I'm banging on my table or desk. And now, the player that I think has been the hottest, had the hottest hitting streak, and is doing probably the best in the MLB for all hitters, Josh Donaldson. Part of the Toronto Blue Jays offense, he is probably their biggest factor. He is just crazy. I mean, he has his season stats, 302 average, 34 homers, 100 RBIs. Oh my god. In August, I mean, it's just crazy. I find it crazy that he's done so well this season so far. It's great, So his last 7, he has an average of 462, 3 homers, and 15 RBIs with no stolen bases. Now, his last game wasn't that good. But you can see here, he had a homer and 6 RBIs in one game. He went 4 for 5 that game. He went 3 for 4 in one game with 2 homers and 4 RBIs. Now, and he has 3 RBIs in this game. Now, you can see he doesn't have that many homers in these games. He has one of the most RBIs in the MLB for the last 7 games, which is pretty crazy. Also, his average jumped up a nice amount, about .010, which is good. That's pretty good to do in last 7 games. It goes from 292 to 302. That's pretty good. So, Josh Donaldson, I looked at his hot zones and pitchers' hot zones. I compared them just because I really wanted to see what he was bad and good on. So, he has good games when the pitcher throws in the strike zone, like right in the strike zone, or a hair outside. That's the way he likes to drive the ball. Hey, it's different for every hitter. You never know. And he has bad games. Let's see. Probably like this one. No hits. Will strike out 4 at-bats. When the pitcher throws inside. Because in the last 30 games, he has been cold from that area. So that's probably why Donaldson's been cold. And he's been really hot when he gets those nice pitches to just drive out of the park. When they're in the strike zone, and you can just tell where it is to drive it. Well, guys, this concludes our video for Hot Streaks. Hope you guys enjoyed. It was a long video. I have a stopwatch going here so I can see how much time I've done. Maybe about 21 minutes. It's crazy. If you're still watching this, thank you. I dearly appreciate it. And guys, this is Gamer of the Century. Thanks for watching. And of course, leave a like for Josh Hamilton. And actually, I'm going to get a new Bleacher Creature up here next time. So tune in next time to see who it is, alright? Guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you have not. And I will see you next time. Bye!